Today I am going to discuss about conservation of matter in hydrosphere. You all know that our earth is also known as a blue planet because more than 70% area of this earth surface is covered with water. But when we think about availability of this water for human consumption, the reality is apart from this because 97% of this water is saline in nature and is not potable. Only 3% of this water is present as a potable water, but that too is not available at all the time. Out of this 3%, approximately 2.997% is logged in polar ice caps that is not available, and so only 0.003% is available as ground or surface water, which we generally use. Nowadays, the quality as well as quantity of this water is going down day by day because of ever increasing population, industrialization and urbanization. So there is an immense need to conserve our available water as well as its resources for us and for our future generations too. Let us have a look how much water we generally use at our home. We use 2% of water for cleaning our utensils. We use 9% of water in our washing machines for cleaning our clothes. 1% is used in coolers, of course, it is used in summer seasons only. 7% is used for bathing. 19% used in toilets. 31% in showers. 12% in taps. 15% is outdoor use such as gardening, and 4% is leaked from pipelines. So this is how we generally use water at our homes. But you know, more than 70% of this water goes as a waste. So efforts should be made to conserve this water right from their source up to the consumption. We can conserve this water by opting certain techniques or measures, such as first is efficient use. Efficient use means use of every drop of water without wasting or depleting. One can become water smart by opting wise use of water, such as you can turn off the water while soaping hands and brushing your teeth. You can turn off sink faucets while scrubbing dishes and pots. You can take shorter showers for 5 minutes or less. You can irrigate your garden either early in the morning or late in the evening to reduce evaporation, or you can have an energy efficient washing machine which will not only reduce the consumption of water but also it will reduce the wastage of water. So these are the ways, different ways by which we can efficiently use water in our daily life. Now next technique is reuse. Now you know, more than 70% of water in domestic uses goes as a waste. Similarly, in industries, it is about 80%, and we don't generally use the rainwater also. It goes as a waste. You can have a look which type of water can be reused, which we generally do not use in our daily life, such as rainwater, storm water, grey water, wastewater, industrial and commercial water. Rainwater, it generally comes from rain or snow collected directly from roof water. It goes as a waste. Storm water, it also comes from rain or snow that falls on and runs off the land. Grey water, it comes from shower, bathroom sinks and washing machines, which we generally throw as a wastewater and never use this water. Now, of course, wastewater is a wastewater which comes from toilet, kitchen sinks and from other sources. And the fourth one is industrial and commercial wastewater. So, these are the water which can be reused. Now, we generally make use of groundwater for drinking purposes. Here, we are taking water from underground water source. After use, the water becomes waste and this water can be treated in wastewater treatment plant. After treatment, certain part of this water can be sent to recharge basin for recharging our underground water. Certain part of this treated water is sent to water bodies for further use, and certain part of this water is used for non-potable uses, such as in industries, in agriculture, or in cleaning of roads and use as a fountain. Now, water can be recollected from these water bodies and can be further treated in water treatment plant to make it potable, and this potable water can be used in city 2 or again in city 1. So, this is the reuse of water, how we can reuse. Now, third process is biofiltration. Biofiltration means it is the treatment of wastewater containing organic waste. We generally use organisms such as plants like Eichhornia, animals like earthworm and microbes for the treatment of wastewater. Generally, what happens, these organisms utilizes the organic matter which is present in the wastewater as their energy source, and by this they remove the impurity from the water and we get clean water for further use. Here in this diagram, you see the wastewater is coming and it is being discharged on a bed containing earthworm and worm cast. The earthworm uses the organic matter of this wastewater, and the cast of these earthworms still contains so many nutrients, which is the rich source of energy for microbes. So, microbes again uses the organic matter in the cast of the earthworm, and by this way we get clean water from waste water. Now, next is wastewater treatment. You know it very well that generally there are three types of water treatment. The first one is primary treatment, the second is secondary treatment, and the third one is tertiary treatment. The primary treatment is generally a physical treatment in which there is filtration, there is screening, there is a grit removal, and so on and so forth like that. The secondary treatment is biological treatment, which contains aerobic and anaerobic treatment. Like this, here is the aerobic treatment and this one is the anaerobic treatment, or digester you can say. This is anaerobic treatment, and these, the grit removal and the screening, is the primary treatment. So, the primary treatments are screening and grit removal. The secondary treatment is trickling filter and digesters, which is of course the anaerobic treatment of the wastewater. Now, after this, there is tertiary treatment, and in tertiary treatment we generally use chemicals, chemical methods for the treatment of wastewater, such as we use ozone, we use ultraviolet rays, we use reverse osmosis, and so on and so forth, like that. So, by this way we can treat the water from water reservoir, and this wastewater can be made potable and can be reused by the human beings. Now, the fifth method is efficient supply system. There is an urgent need to augment drinking water for urban and rural areas. This could be done by replacing rusted, choked supply system existing for too long, and provisions of emergency water supply system for the drought stricken rural areas. The modern methods of assured and controlled water supplies are still lacking in rural areas. It is still lacking in rural areas, and call for management of our water resources. And the last one is setting priorities. Water is a national asset. It can't be a property of individual or a family. In the situation of shortage of water, priority must be decided, such as the first priority should be given to drinking water for human beings and cattle. The second priority is given to agriculture, because we are agricultural nation, and the third priority is to be given to industries. In this too, first priority should be given to those industries which are directly related to public, and then to those which are indirectly related. So, that is all about the conservation of matter in hydrosphere. In next lecture, I will discuss about energy budget. Thank you very much.